Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay-at-home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight. Got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet. Cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, Danny. How you doing
Hey,
today?
Brock, how you doing, bud?
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
We're just talking over each
long
other.
day. Been a while, and we don't get to talk to each other often enough.
It's just the holidays, I think.
Yeah.
It's
We're
all
coming up
turned
to
around.
New Year's. You got any plans for New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve. Probably falling asleep before the ball drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do something, but it didn't quite work out. But Christmas was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Christmas. Yeah, I mean, did you get anything good for Christmas?
Well, I got all the things. Yeah, my wife really pulled out a lot of the stops. We got. I'm a huge geek, so it is what it is. But I've got a painting that I've had my eyes on, and this doesn't sound geeky yet, but it'll get there. Don't worry. But one of my favorite artists is Van Gogh. And it's only because that's really one of the only artists that I was actually exposed to when I was a kid. It was just, that was the one we happened to study and then didn't go any further. But his painting of Starry Night, which is a very famous one. So it's got that, which is cool. That's across the top. And then in the foreground is Gandalf standing with his sword and staff, and the Balrog, the pit fiend from the movie, kind of roaring up in front of him, and Gandalf's doing his "You shall not pass" thing in front of Van Gogh's Starry Night. So
I like that.
it is incredibly geeky. It really
it's a nice
is.
mashup.
But I love it, and my wife did excellent research and legwork this year to just listen to me all year and figure out what I'd want. She didn't ask for a list. She just went on her own, and I mean, like, every single thing was perfect.
I feel like that's the
She did
best.
really well.
Yeah, that's sometimes the best way it works. If you got someone that's going to listen.
Yeah. She's really worked on it. She's not a natural, again, where our roles are in life or who we are, but she's not like people call, like if you're an empath, like you can, you kind of get a feel for people when you talk to them or whatever.
Yeah.
She doesn't do that. She's just kind of well, this person said they were this, so I have a list, I made a spreadsheet, and we're good to go. So whereas I'm just the opposite. I'm like, oh, that's neat that you made like a list for things you want for Christmas. I'm not getting you any of that. Tell your parents to get you that stuff. I got a better idea. So but yeah, it went great, and the kids and everything. So how did you get how were your presents this year?
So I got a T-shirt from Cincy Shirts here in town. They're a local print shop, and they make some really cool shirts up. Well, one of the shirts that they came up with was it's like a 90s colors, like the pink, purple, blue type thing, and it says "Totally Rad Cincinnati Dad" on it.
Nice.
And I was like, oh man, I had shown Corey the shirt, and I was just like, this is an awesome shirt. I would love to have this.
Yeah.
And she ended up her through work. They all got like gift cards to be able to buy shirts from there. And so she was sneaky and bought me one when she was buying that. And I just wasn't paying attention to how much she spent on the card and everything.
Nice.
And
yeah.
So that was a cool surprise. And I got some beard oil and some beard balm from a place called Rugged Roots. And they sent me a sample of this like tobacco and vanilla beard balm. And man, it's so good. Like the wife likes it. Let's just put it that way.
Good.
So it was a good free sample, and I'll definitely be buying a larger one here pretty soon.
Are you going to be growing that bush out there? Is that going to be getting like down to your shirt or?
I don't think it'll get that long, but my neck might disappear.
Yeah.
I'll say that might be the case. I don't know. We'll see how much she lets it go for the most part.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, so I mean, it wasn't bad. Most of it was just watching the kids open up presents, and that was fun. I mean, everything was pretty much bought online, minus a few items. But it was great to just see them having a good time, and it was a good day.
Do you guys do anything on Christmas Eve or Christmas, like the traditions that you have, like, whatever they might be, open one present beforehand or anything like that on Christmas Eve, or movies you watch? Or
Christmas Eve typically is like going to Christmas Eve church service, which this year, since I'm the live stream producer for our church. Like we went in and did a recording of it. So there were people there and stuff for a couple different nights. But if you didn't want to, go get around a bunch of people, which it's not like we have a lot of people, but if you want to do all that, they had that option. So we watched the Christmas Eve service, and we were going to order pizza, but the place that we were going to order pizza from was closed on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
Duh, should have realized that.
should have thought of that one.
So
yeah.
that was fun. We had to like scramble. I'd gone and bought like some stuff to do, like meat and cheese trays and things like that. Had a few other items, and
The kids probably like that a lot too.
yeah, just to be able to come and pick stuff off vegetable tray, that kind of thing works
Yeah.
really well. So that's what we did. I mean, nothing really special. I think for us, it's more really just about like being together, not traveling.
Mhm.
We made it a thing to not do that. Christmas
Mhm.
Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, try to stay at home, and
Yeah.
it's nice. But
That's what
yeah,
we've done too for Christmas. It's kind of just, I mean, it may change, we're moving, so it may change. Everything may change when we move. Who knows? We'll be closer to a lot more family at that time. But I really like having the kids at home, wake up on Christmas morning and way too early, of course. And then, and just getting everything ready, and you're just kind of in your own place, and it's just kind of a warm feeling. I had the Spotify playlist running for Christmas songs, and tried to actually play a couple on our little electric piano. I'm not a piano player though, just so you know. It was awful, but the kids laughed and we had fun, and we sang kind of some songs, the night before. But we really just, and I think not just this year, but every year, just kind of want to stay home, just be together with just, our kids. And I mean it exclusively. I'm sure at some point it could change, but just to have them have those memories, at least when they're young,
yeah, definitely.
they're in their teenage years, and then they can go somewhere.
Yeah,
Oh, you can go ahead and get out. I'll send your presents wherever you want to be.
there you go. Yep. Well, and so
No.
yeah, so Christmas was good. Coming up on New Year's here, and
Mhm.
probably when folks hear this, it'll be a week or two maybe after Christmas, but or after New Year's, whatever. But honestly, I'm looking forward to jumping into 2021. I think I'm going to use the dad joke on this, that hindsight will be 2020 officially.
Oh yeah.
So that
Yes.
but I think we were talking about this off air, just the fact that like really just the turn to 2021, like nothing's really right off the bat is going to change. Like it's
Yeah.
just a new year, but there is that that look to hope of things that are coming. And I think a lot
Yes.
of people right now, like if there's one thing that everyone's clinging on to, it's hope,
Mhm.
for just a lot of new changes and a lot of positivity to come this way. So, but I mean, January itself is going to be a big month, just with all the different things that are going to be going on.
I heard some of the coolest people like in the world were born in January.
coolest
Now, I'm
people?
not positive, but that's what I heard. The word was coolest.
So
It could have been nicest. I don't know.
the one person that I know, so if you put him in that category, Nicolas Cage's birthday is on January 7th.
All right. Sure.
And so, and I share a birthday with him. So I guess
Weird.
that puts me in that
Huh,
category.
I guess it does.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know about Nicolas Cage. That's cool. I didn't look up any famous people for January. I just kind of looked at my friends list, and well, one of the Mercers, my 7-year-old turns 8, so that's
There you
cool.
go.
On the 5th, he's already ready for his birthday, and I'm like, dude, you've bought all the presents. I don't have anything to give you. You used up all the money. You're gonna get an Oreo cake and maybe like a pinata full of cough drops. That's what we got right now. Whatever you need. But yeah, I turned 52 in January on the 17th.
I
So
turned
I'm looking forward to
41.
it.
So
Nice.
yeah. But yeah, and my mom's birthday's in January. My mother-in-law's birthday's in January. I get both those
Both
knocked out in one
awesome
month. It's
people,
great.
I can
They're like a
tell.
week apart from each other, which is awesome.
Nice.
So a few other family members and whatnot. But I think more than that, like I'm looking forward to just things that were taken away, like, or just like not able to happen this year.
Yeah.
To come back for this coming year. And still granted, it's going to look different probably
Yeah.
until things really get in place. But my hope are for things like sporting events to be able to be in person. As you can see right now, this is my big hope, is that the new stadium for FC Cincinnati is completed and they get to play their season in there. And I'm really hoping to get to be in that stadium. It's very similar to the stadium at up in Minnesota that we went to for Home DadCon.
Oh, that was so cool.
Yeah. And so they're going to have, they actually are having like a public open, like beer garden type place, just like what they have in Minneapolis.
Sweet.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking for, like, sports in general for me. I miss not getting to go to Reds games this year. Tickets are so cheap to go to a Reds game, honestly.
Yeah.
But to get to watch Major League Baseball in person again would be awesome. Just the ability to go places a little bit more readily.
Yeah. Just to ease a little bit and to get back to just a regular, I really look forward. Honestly, it's kind of weird, but I look forward to that morning schedule of getting everybody ready, getting everybody going, get everybody out of the house and get everybody done. And then be able to get to, for me, my reward is what I looked at it as, for getting all the kids out and ready and alive and off to wherever they needed to be, was to go work out. I would go over to the Y and go to the gym there. And I did that as, hey, good job this morning. You got all your kids going, you got everywhere you did your work, take a break. And I really enjoy the break of physical activity. So getting to go, I would walk one day and then I'd walk for a little while, second day, and do, arms and shoulders or whatever. And just having that, it could be an hour and a half. It could be whatever time I wanted, unless, someone got sick at school or whatever. But I really enjoyed, more than that, the routine of having everybody on a routine that they could respond to, that they knew this thing happens, then this is next. This is happening, then this is next. And they knew getting dressed, getting their teeth brushed, all of those things were never a struggle. And I know for, I think any of us, maybe not all of us, but probably 90% of the people that are doing remote learning with their kids, it's been awful. I mean, it's been just pulling hair and biting nails to try to get our kids where they need to be every day. Whereas at any other time, it's no, this is the regiment, this is the schedule, this is what I can do. And I think that schedule is healthier for everyone. So that's, at least I know it is for me, and it probably is for my kids.
Yeah, definitely. Getting back on a routine like that it will definitely be nice for a lot of folks. For us, like, our kids go to school every day in person. So we've been blessed to have that a thing going on. So kind of looking forward to them going back this year, or going back here in January. Honestly, it's been great having them home, but oh my gosh, like, there are days, I tell you. So
yeah, I love you, but will you please go away? I just
today was one of those, like, today and yesterday were kind of one of those days where it was this kind of a nice change up of things. Like, we actually were working on like 1,000-piece puzzle.
Cool.
That my son got. Yeah, he got like a Pokemon puzzle with like all the different characters on it, and he was just set on putting this thing together. And so, yeah, I mean, we put it together in like over the course of 24 hours, like, a little bit of time. But yeah, stuff like that. But who knows what tomorrow's going to bring?
Yeah, we went today, and the kids, not my teenager, but all the younger kids, went out and built, I'm going to say, kind of a lean-to / treehouse / fort kind of thing that they just put together on their own with really no plans or anything like that. And I don't want to make it sound like we're all hardcore wilderness, homesteaders or anything like that. It was just something that we've talked about, and we've camped, and they wanted to try to build it and then try to build a fire. Which was hilarious, because they come in and the first thing my 10-year-old, or my 11-year-old, said was, "Dad, can we dig a fire pit in the front yard?" And I said, "No, I can't remember what I was doing, but I'm doing laundry or whatever." I said, "Look, I've got to finish this. It's going to take me about another 30, 45 minutes. I want nothing done outside that has anything to do with fire or pits. Okay. If you're digging, stop."
By the way, I also need to sell my house
right
soon.
It'd be great if it hadn't caught fire, but
right.
Or just the acreage caught fire. There's a really interesting lawn you have. Yeah, it all burned down. Yeah. And so it's just, I don't know, it's weeds and honeysuckle vine now. Get ready for spring.
It was a fence burn gone wrong.
Right. It's crazy. But it was a lot of fun though, too. I mean, it was in the 40s, so, it was a little cooler. The kids got acclimated really fast, which I love. I just, and we've talked about it in the past, I think on our self-care, we were talking about that, about, taking your kids hiking, even if it's cold, let's go do it, and getting them acclimated. And they did really well. Even my youngest, who's very thin compared to the rest of us, at least, got, had her coat on and everything at first, but then warmed up and was able to take it off, and then tried to get a fire going. And I'm unable to get a fire going because it's been raining for 3 days. And I'm like, guys,
Oh yeah.
really not. And she's like, well, I really want a fire, Dad. We'll see where fire pit works. I'm like, I love you. And yeah. And it's one of those things where, like, there in the back of my head, it's like Les Stroud or Bear Grylls or someone is just like David Canterbury's out there and somewhere in the world going, what? Who's doing that? There's no way you can make a fire doing that. What idiot is trying to make wet bark into a fire? It's one of the Survivor guys just is out there having a fit because Danny's being an idiot,
shoot.
But your kids, your kids want it. You want to do it. So I never got that fire going. And that's probably the most embarrassing thing I've ever said about myself. I
mean,
always
what are
make
you gonna
fire.
do? It's wet wood, man. Like,
if I had a little more time, I don't know, man. Shave some bark down, man. Cut something. But it also building on a quote unquote fire pit, which is a ring of gravel, basically large gravel from the driveway, and just wet grass on the bottom. They didn't dig it because I wouldn't want them to dig it, so it was cool. And I'm like, this is never going to catch. It's going to be wet from the bottom up. But it was fun. And they had a great time. And we did, their shelter, so to speak, was also just, no one's going to live in that. That will probably kill you more than just staying out in the wilderness. It's going to be bad. But it was a great day. I shouldn't say it was probably half day, but it was a really good time with them. And they all enjoyed it. And we were outside and got a little bit of energy burn off. And really thinking about that tonight and earlier today, that's where I'm pushing my kids more and more, is to be out there and get in the dirt and get dirty, get a little, because they got little scratches and, burns, lol. So one of my kids on fire. No, they got little scratches on their hands or whatever. We got a pinched finger, and one of them actually needed a Band-Aid, and they were tearing down vines that had briars in them. And I'm like, you probably shouldn't. Oh, too late. Yeah, I just couldn't stop them in time. But getting that kind of feeling of what hardship is, and it's not really that much hardship, but looking at this year, I'm really looking forward to finding who they are and what gives them joy when they're doing these kind of things. And when they're outside, if it's chopping wood or if it's just walking to the mailbox and back,
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for me when I was thinking about, 2021 and what I'm not making resolutions or anything like that, but just looking forward to a new year. It's a chance for them to grow and become more of the person that they will eventually be. And that, for me, although it's very esoteric and kind of, out there, what does that actually mean kind of thing? But that's kind of what I'm looking forward to, I think, the most, is just who my kids will be when the calendar rolls over again.
Yeah, definitely. I think that, the kids are definitely getting pushed outside of their comfort zone this year with different things, and it'll be interesting to see how that translates as the new year kicks in and things slowly probably come back in line for a lot of folks. And
it's a lot of change, and I don't know that we were ever really ready for the change that needed to happen kind of in a lot of things, especially digitally. My wife and I are going to teach all of our kids to write cursive. We love writing letters, and we love the ability to write. And my wife has a fountain pen collections, and we have those things and we want those things. There you go. Yeah. Wasn't that one somebody made that for you?
Yeah, I've got a couple. A friend of mine makes these. They're handmade. They're awesome. Sweet. I love them. Sweet. I've got one that's got my name carved in it.
Yeah, I don't want to show off too many, but this is the one she actually uses for work, and none of hers are handmade. These are all from like companies that have way too much time and not enough money, evidently. No, I'm kidding. She can have every pen she wants. I trust my wife 100% on that, because she's never been. And also, when she buys one, if it's an expensive one, she's like, "Yeah, this was like $100 or $200. I don't know how much she spent. Let's say $100. Like, oh, well, that's fine. I love you." And she goes, "So maybe if you wanted to buy that thing, I'd feel better that we both spent too much money." No, that's horrible.
I mean, that's a nice give and take.
I like it, but no, let's maybe a bottle of scotch, but I don't want to be $100 or whatever.
Get a couple. You get a few bottles for that,
right?
price.
Yeah. Well, get a really good one. just like a one,
Okay,
like
that's
15
true.
year, an 18-year Avalor.
We're gonna go down a different
Yeah,
rabbit
we're
hole
going
to
a
keep
different
talking
place,
about
aren't we?
this.
Right? Yeah. But the I can't remember what I was saying, but 2021 is really going to be digitally for. I mean, my kids know how to type faster than I
Yeah,
do, and I've been typing regularly every single day for. I got ham hands, so I'm not really good at anything delicate like it, but I'm fast. But they're way faster. Even my 6-year-old, my 7-year-old, almost to be 8-year-old, and my 6-year-old are both capable of developing a PowerPoint.
nice.
It's garbage. All right.
Hey, it's a
I mean, it's
start.
just like, but it is. And they're learning these tools specifically because distance learning.
Yeah,
So while they're not socializing and they're not on their sports team, we're not playing soccer, we're not doing anything, they are picking up so much and they are still growing in ways that they probably wouldn't have otherwise. And if we're looking at the potential of so many more companies being willing to let you work remotely,
yeah,
okay, maybe these are skills that are going to serve you better in when you get into your college years or work years, wherever you go to after like high school or whatever. It's a good skill to have.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
it's a positive of what is not a very positive situation.
right. Definitely. I think learning some skills is definitely a good quality. Something that hopefully a lot of kids took away, and I mean, they had to learn how to troubleshoot some different things too, and
Mhm.
maybe mom and dad couldn't be around to fix it.
Yeah.
They had to figure it out on their own. So
Hmm.
a lot of resiliency in that. So I think the other thing too that I'm looking forward to for the new year is for me a couple things. One is the lineup of webinars that the National at Home Dad Network is working on.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been waiting to hear.
Just to give some shameless plugs here a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Do it.
definitely the webinar series. Matt Strain has been working his butt off, getting a lot of different people lined up for that. So I'm excited for getting to get those announced and get those out. Probably be one coming up here very soon, getting announced for a webinar series. I don't have the first webinar for in January, and I don't have a date for it yet.
Hmm.
Um, so, and I'll even keep it under wraps on what it is exactly
Oh man,
because,
fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, it's not
It's his
officially
thunder. It's
out.
his thunder too. It definitely should be Matt announcing it, I think, or him putting it up.
It is, but I mean, I'm the one that's going to be putting it out there with the social media chair and everything. But we have some graphics to build and some things like that, so we'll make it a full official. I don't want to steal the org's thunder on that one.
Sure.
And so there's that. I think that too. Just getting prepped for Home Dad Con this year,
Hmm.
which is in October, so plenty of time for vaccinations to get out
Hmm.
and things to hopefully come to a certain sort of norm to be able to have guys come to Cincinnati and take part in that in person and
Oh,
really really make
can't
that
wait.
what it's been in the past years. So I'm looking forward to that and just working with the team of folks that we're trying to build the best conference that we can for everybody.
Hmm.
So looking forward to Home Dad Con, and tickets are on sale. So
Oh yeah.
go to homedadcon.org to get your ticket today. And also hotels are ready to be reserved for that too. Those are open.
Hmm.
So our block is set up to be able to purchase a room, which is nice. But yeah, those are like some of the big things I'm looking forward to. Aside from that, I think we're going to do some traveling, hopefully in the summer.
Now you mentioned you'd had to cancel a trip because of 2020. You maybe not mentioned it, but I know we talked about it. And
Yeah.
have you made any thoughts about replanning that this year or doing something similar along those lines? I mean, that seemed like a pretty big
Yeah.
thing you had to cancel.
We canceled our anniversary trip to New York, which was set in May. I don't know. We'll see if we do that again. I think that there are just going to be some ways to maybe. I mean, I feel like a lot of places are going to be looking for people to come back, and they're going to make it,
Hmm.
feasible for a lot of things. So there's a few places I'm hoping to be able to travel to. New York would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that Legoland New York gets to open up this year because they were supposed to open up, or in 2021 because they were supposed to open up this year and that didn't happen.
Hmm.
So that would be cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping that the borders open back up, although this is a whole nother like thing, but to have to get the kids a passport for this, but I'd
Mhm.
love to be able to go up to Toronto and do some camping with Casey Palmer, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not in his family.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I think just getting to go to some different places. My wife's got an extra week of vacation this year due to being there for so long. So
Yeah.
we've kind of been talking about what that would look like, where we'd want to go, maybe an RV trip type of thing, go see
Oh
some
yeah.
national parks.
I'm really hoping that at some point my family and I can do that. We can swing that. So I really love RVing. I haven't done it in 15 years, so it's definitely gotten better if you're if you're doing it today than you were 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And mine was always pretty sparse. It was, if I go in a camper, it could just be a van with someone put like a hot plate in the back, and oh, we're good, let's sleep on the floor. And that was when I was much younger, and I can't do that anymore. But the thought of like rolling through one of the national parks like Yosemite,
Yeah.
and just being able to say, yeah, that's a bear or whatever, in the wildlife we don't see here is one thing, but then the national monuments and the sites that you can see roll up to whatever it might be, Mount Rushmore or something, and then be able to have that as a child in your memory
Yeah.
banks, so to speak, so that for the rest of your life, that's going to be something you go, yeah, Mount Rushmore. Actually, we parked right there, and there was I don't know, there was a dog, and we fed him, and he wouldn't go away, and Dad said we had to leave and I cried, but it was a great experience, or whatever. But that the memories you get from a road trip too are huge.
Oh, yeah.
I think RVing should definitely be. It won't be for 2021 for me, but yeah, that's something I think I'm going to put in my long term, thing for the kids.
Yeah.
Go to just this RV across. Let's go try 3 different states today.
Well, and I heard
Just see what's.
And
out
I
there.
heard too that if you have a kid that's in 4th grade, that
Mhm.
that you can get a like a family like park pass, like they give one to the 4th grader, but it's for the whole family to go into any of the national parks for free. And so it's
Oh, cool.
yeah, it's a cool program. I've was talking with another guy about, because his family, they RV all the time. That's their full-time gig.
Nice.
And so yeah, he was talking about it. I'm like, man, that sounds awesome. Like, just
Mhm.
because I mean, it is expensive to go into some of those parks depending on what it is, but it's an experience no matter what.
You said that's his full time. He's in the network. He's on our Facebook page, right? Is it that guy?
He is in our Facebook page. Yeah,
'Cause
he's
I
in the
don't
group.
know him, and that's why. But I remember him mentioning it, and that's like they actually pulled up stakes and let's go on the road.
Yeah, they are full time out on the road. He's got his own, like, him and his wife have their own little like full time business that they do online. But yeah, it's pretty neat.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different life.
Oh, yeah,
I couldn't do it, I don't think, but man, that would be just an amazing experience too.
But yeah, so like I said, I'm looking forward to 2021, and I hope everybody else is, looking forward to what it has to bring. But I hope that maybe this episode just gave everybody a chance to just sort of come along and just dream with us a little bit about what can be for this year, and hopefully we'll be bringing along some more content, and especially some guests. We're gonna have some different folks coming on here soon, so looking forward to that. But you all have a great day, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.